You're live, according to the YouTube screen. All right. Well, hello, everyone. Of course, this is me, Scott. That's right. That guy that occasionally stumble across here on YouTube. That's right. You read it right. We're doing a live stream today. Right now, I have Andrew. And, you know, people butcher my last name all the time. See if I got this. Is it Downey?
Dowdney.
Oh. I got to turn the audio down on my computer because I just heard the, I just heard what I said 20 seconds ago. But yeah, I got distracted by hearing myself. Yeah. Andrew, how's your week been so far?
Pretty good. I can't complain. It's been pretty good. I've shown lots of properties and you know, as we mentioned in the last video that we did, I'm a real estate agent here in Oklahoma City, and I enjoy that, helping people find their new property.
Sorry, I had a glitch. I had YouTube open on another window. I was hearing
Feedback.
that,
We're getting some feedback.
So you were saying, I'm sorry, you were saying something about real estate.
Yeah, I'm just a real estate agent here in the local Oklahoma City metro area. So residential and commercial properties. And that's kind of what I do for a living.
How long? You've been doing this steady for a year now, haven't you?
I have. It has changed a lot in the last year as well. You know, we've gone from a market that's been just going crazy to a market that's shifted. Go right ahead.
So I would imagine now that you're experiencing the market, you're also experiencing your first calendar year too. So that's got to be quite interesting.
Right.
Oh, there's Chris. He's joined us now. Chris, according to my screen, is on. Now he's on the bottom. Chris, you're on the bottom this time.
Oh, that's how I like it. It's all right.
So yeah, Andrew was just telling us about his week. Obviously, what he does in general, obviously, real estate was Chris. And like you were telling us last week, you basically hanging from buildings. When you first started that job, one of the first questions they had to ask you, are you afraid of heights? If not.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It was like, are you afraid of heights? A. And do you travel? B. Other than that, we can teach you everything. But if you're afraid of the other two, then nothing.
Yeah, I could go so far off the ground and traveling. But anyways,
Right.
I guess we can't get into it right now. I'm only seeing there's 4 people watching this amazing live video right now.
Yes.
4 people. I mean, they could be doing something better with their life right now on a Saturday night. Probably like the 2 of you could be at this point.
What's better?
I was watching that Lizzie on HBO, you know, Lizzie Borden. And I think it's just getting good. So I'm like, I got to do a live stream. So I'm going to finish watching that later.
Is that the chick with the X?
Yeah, it seems it's obvious they're doing the 6 months before shit hits the fan. You know, that's what I'm assuming.
All right.
And speaking of movies, has either one of you, of course, I get a notification right now on Instagram. Either one of you seen any decent movies this past week?
I have not. However, I did see that Wakanda Forever came out, which I would like to go see. That looks pretty good.
I was distracted by the Wakanda Forever this past week.
I said I wouldn't mind seeing it.
Somebody's asking me now, as we're doing this live stream video, hey man, I've got a question. I went out and got a 7-piece airbrush kit from Harbor Freight. Okay, the adapter is too big for my compressor. Do you have any certain adapters? Do I have any certain adapters? There are tons of adapters. Like he's watching right now. The answer his question. There's tons of adapters for air compressors, from airbrushes. I would talk to the people at Harbor Freight. or any art supply store. But there's always usually plenty of adapters for air compressors and airbrushes.
Take your gun up there, right?
And yeah, you bought the kit up there, so
Yeah.
yeah. He's actually doing a pretty damn good job. This guy Aaron, he's been contacting me on Instagram, and he's trying to go. Well, he's the methods that I was showing on my tutorials, and he's doing pretty good. I'm impressed with what I'm seeing so far. So
That's awesome.
yeah,
Further along than we are. Or I should speak for Andrew, I guess. Have you started yet, Andrew?
Not yet, but I will. I will. You got to give me about another month, but I will.
I know. I'm right there with you.
Right. I saw too, Chris, you're a Honda guy.
I am a Honda guy.
Yeah, so am I. I worked for them for 16 years.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
I worked in their warehouse. I was doing the inventory control stuff.
Nice.
But
Nice.
I love Hondas.
Heck yeah. So you had a Type R. I've got, what year model is your Type R?
It's a 2020.
2020. Well, we have the same year model car, except you've got the better car. I've got the SI, and our cars are the same color, which is crazy. I saw that the other day after our live stream.
I also had an S2000. I don't have any good pictures of it, but that was a phenomenal car.
Yep. I owned one as well. What year was yours?
Mine was a 01.
01. I had an 03. So that's awesome. Yeah. Color was it? What color was yours?
Silverstone.
Silverstone. Okay, perfect. Yeah, I had that red.
Oh yeah.
That's cool. That's cool.
Oh, yeah. Red's good.
Yep. All right, Scott. Sorry. We started
No.
talking Honda stuff.
No, I'm the one that rambles on. Wait, I'm glad to hear you guys mixing it up. Trust me.
I was gonna say I have been trying to catch up with Terrifier. I watched the first one last night.
Oh, what did you think of Terrifier?
I quite enjoyed it.
It's
Good stuff.
you gotta give them credit. I mean, have you seen this? Terrifier is really the first. There's obviously a backstory. People to chat. We've got a few people in chat room right now. Hopefully, I could.
Oh,
If you guys have seen Terrifier, you can testify how it is. Andrew, have you seen anything of Terrifier yet?
I have not. Tell me, what streaming service is it?
Terrifier is definitely a independent film.
Okay.
You can get it very affordable. It's Terrifier 2 is out in the theater,
Okay.
and let's just put it this way: it bypassed a certain Halloween film.
Oh, wow.
it is on streaming as well.
It is on streaming.
Yeah, it's on Screenbox.
Screenbox. Okay. What are you working there? Are you working an Xbox or PlayStation?
Xbox.
Okay.
Michael the Collector 98. I enjoyed the first one, but I loved Terrifier. See, I haven't. I'm gonna have to watch the damn thing. As older I get, the more I'm squeamish, but I'm gonna have to check it out.
Might
It's
as well,
so
right?
over the top that it's like, it's just fun, to
It
me.
is okay. And I apologize on we got another somewhere in the chat. I'm gonna botch up your name. I'll just put Do S. Terrifier 2 is awesome. I'm always botching people's names on here. Well, I'm gonna have to check out Terrifier 2, at least talk
Yep.
about it on here. So no one else besides Terrifier 2. I guess that is the backstory of the movie this week. Of course, I could definitely speak for, and I don't mean to, Chris. We got some Mother Nature today, didn't we?
Oh, I woke up and immediately went back to bed. It was white everywhere. I was like, oh, hell with this.
Now, where you live, I'm not going to say that's your right to say where you live, Andrew, because I try to respect people's privacy.
You're good, Scott. I already mentioned it. I'm in Oklahoma City, and believe it or not, I woke up to the same thing today. There was snow on the ground. Believe it or not.
So you got it out of North. Wow.
Yeah.
Snow in big parts of
We had big flakes last night before we went to bed.
That's impressive.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you, Michael. What he says, it's like Evil Dead. I can handle it. Oh, my son would love to watch Terrifier 2 because he loves Evil Dead movies. Okay. Just try to pay attention to everybody here, the chat, you guys, and everything else.
Sure.
I don't know how I let it go under my, or, you know, over my radar so much. I just didn't pick it up, Terrifier. But since you mentioned it a while back, I really wanted to start watching them. So I finally got around to it. Now I got to see two.
And the one that's before it was everybody in the chat room. The one that they had, the guy who obviously is a creative controller for the majority of Terrifier, director, and all that. I believe he has something out before called Hallows Eve.
All Hallows Eve.
All Hallows Eve. Okay, thank you. Well, you know, since we are on the subject of the title alone, ranking these masks, and I was up early working on the damn thumbnail. Chris, if you don't mind, since we're on the subject of masks, you sent me a text message earlier about, well, yeah. Would you mind sharing what you got?
Well, where are we starting? I guess.
Oh, okay. Okay. Well, I'll tell you what, Chris, since you did receive something special today, I'm going to ask you if you'd like to go first, but I also want to throw something in there. It's between you. This is just an idea I had. You obviously have your list.
Yep.
Your ranking of your masks. It's your list. You know, as I say it, as I tell the kids at soccer, the only rule is out here is to have fun. So that's the rules here. It's to have fun. So therefore, it's your list. I'm going to ask you and Andrew, instead of starting your number one or the one you dislike the most, how about the one in the middle? The one that you're truly on the fence. And then, of course, after you do yours, Andrew, how about you? And then I'll go. In other words, we'll all take turns. And then you know what I mean. After we do the one in the middle, then we could start however you want to go.
I'm working with paper here. So we're going the very middle.
Yeah.
Well, I got 14 overall going by the franchise, including cover mask.
Okay.
So dead middle is going to be the H4 stunt mask for me, or just H4 period.
So
right.
the
It's number
H4,
7 for me.
so that you once again repeat that, you said it was the H4 is the one that's right down the middle for you.
Yeah, H4, the stunt mask or the clean, either one.
Now, I got to follow up. Why is that? You know, I don't follow that with any of them. You know, like 4, that's your one that you're on the fence. Why is it?
I don't know. I feel like the light has to hit it, the shadows have to hit it just the right way for it to be creepy for me. And it has to be messed up just enough if I'm going based upon that. I feel like it only works in certain situations. Otherwise, it's just kind of plain for me.
Yeah. I see what you're saying. It makes a lot of sense. Makes a lot of sense.
But you get it right, like you get like an AHG, like a stunt mask, and where it's all messed up. I love that. So I kind of go back and forth.
Definitely gives it some character.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Andrew, you got a
Yeah.
list there, buddy?
Yeah, I was going to add one thing to what he said, is in the fact that, you know, the H4 used to be on the latter part of my list. And, you know, when I saw Mr. Lambert redo that H4, which I think you own, sir, it impressed me. And I really started to gain more liking out of that mask over time. So, you know, to say that was used to be, over time, it's changed for me. And I would say for now that mask, it would be 4 or 5 would be in the middle for me. Those 2 masks really are in the middle for me over anything else, because they were not in the middle early on, I would say. You know, they were at the last of my list, and they've moved up over the years.
It's kind of polarizing to me.
Right.
You love it or you hate it.
Right. And used to, I didn't like it. I'll be honest. I didn't, but I like it now. You know, I like it more than I did. So it's changed. My opinion of it's changed. But speaking of the mask too, I mean, how about the mask they put on the cover? It looks nothing like the mask in the film. And so I think that was back in the day when that movie was released. For me, that was what kind of, as a kid, I stepped back and was like, man, the mask in the poster looks nothing like the mask in the movie. And so it kind of, as a kid, kind of turned me off to that particular mask. But that's how I thought. And I think about it now, and that's really kind of how I thought, just because I was like, it doesn't even match. I want a mask that looks like that. I remember as a kid going, I want that mask, the one in the poster, not the one on the screen. So
I had to split them up just because of that very reason, because
right,
cover masks, I actually love them.
right,
And then there's the H4 that we got. So I had to split them up.
sure, 100%.
Well, I've got 19 masks that I came up with.
Mhm.
Now, before I do, I want to go over here to the chat real quick. Michael, the collector, he seems to be welling in quite a bit here. And I'm just going to glance at it, Michael. You got the H20 masks and the H5 masks are your least favorite. That seems to be, I want to say, as I'm just pretty guessing over the years of the whole, that seems to be pretty common. And try to see what else you got here.
I wonder, Michael, is that because of the whole CGI thing, or you just don't like the mask at all?
That's a good question. He also has controversial about the 2018 mask is my favorite, with the H1 and H2 make it a very close second one. So yeah, he's weighed in on a lot of this. There should be pads that make the H4 even worse. Yeah, every time I gotta get show it here. I got a track pad, and I need a new one. It doesn't have the touch to it. It's driving me nuts. I'm not spending whatever it costs to get it. Well, let's see.
So was that his question, Scott? Was about H2O and the CGI issue? Was that it?
Well, no, I mean, he was just basically stating, I mean, Chris brings that up. Let's see, does he put it? People forget the H4 mask is actually a Don Post Kirk mask.
That's true.
And I was gonna wait and talk about H4 later because it's not in the middle. That's close enough. You know what? No, I'm gonna throw a monkey.
Yeah, what's
what our original monkey here? I'm gonna go to my middle one here. And it's completely 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You know what? Yeah, this is gonna throw you off. Halloween 3. The witch face mask. It's technically a face mask. I'm right on the middle with that one. Mainly because out of all the masks that I put on this list here, as I think of for the franchise, and yes, including, because you have to include Halloween 3s in my list as far as I'm concerned. But with the when I was a little kid, well, not a little kid, I was really a young teenager, when I was seeing some of those, witch masks that they were wearing right after that came out, that was the only time I'd ever seen someone dressed up as a witch that seemed really creepy to me. I think it's because I was relating to the fact that it was Halloween, but it's the Don Posts. Not that I'm pointing fingers at Tots. It's just, if you weather down a Tots witch's face mask darker, then it's going to look very close to a Don Post. But, people that are all Don Posts are going to be skeptical. So yeah, I thought about of all the masks, including the Halloween 3, the Season of the Witch, that is actually, that's kind of like in the middle for me with all the masks that I have. So yeah, it's completely different than the Halloween 4. But
I'll agree with you, Scott. You don't have to like the movie to like the masks. I kind of dug those masks as well, but wasn't a huge fan of the movie.
Yeah, you got to go back to watch Halloween. I think that's like it's been for everybody. Season of the Witch. When you go back to watch it and know exactly what it's for, it's actually a good, scary, fun movie that Tom Waltz directed.
Yeah.
Other than that, I don't need to hum the music. You know what it is. That does get annoying. Period.
Totally agree. By itself, it's fun.
Well, I gave you my middle and the reason why. So I believe, Chris, it's your turn. However you want to do it. If you want to go all the way to the your least favorite, I mean, it's your call. And I'm going to try to go over some of these individuals here in the chat room.
Well, I don't know. We're trying to do something different, right?
Whatever you want to do.
I guess it makes sense. Least favorite, right?
Makes sense to me. Your least favorite. How many you have again? Is it 14?
What's that?
How many masks did you have written down?
14.
14 of them?
14.
Okay, so this is your 14th, the one you dislike the most.
It's
And
H2O.
H2O. Okay.
I just can't. The eye cuts, the amount of eyes that we see on Michael, and just so many things just contribute to it. His movement, just, I know that's not related to the mask, but it adds to the mask for me. It doesn't hit home for me. H2O is my dead last.
Not to interrupt Michael, the Collector 90. I was just talking about the H2O masks in general. There were like 4 masks in H2O.
Yeah.
The H6, which was like, the K and B mask, which is, the CGI one. And the I, you guys on the same page. I was thinking about that earlier too when I was thinking about H2O. Sorry, go ahead. I just wanted to at least relate that to what Michael was saying.
Oh no, I mean, I could echo that and be like, it just seems like they didn't know what they wanted to do at that point. It was so confusing, and they were all over the place, and they eventually, one point, they didn't have a mask and they used the CGI for it. It's just, that's my dead last.
And one other thing too, this is for the chats, and I do apologize for butchering your screen name here, dude. If you were CEO of TOTS, what changes would you make? That is a damn good question, I think, for all of us.
Careful.
And I think that's almost a video on its own.
Careful.
Oh, that's a good question.
I think we've all experienced Zephyr's wrath. Careful.
Once again, I do apologize for butchering your screen name. It's due, and I'm reminded that could be your last name, so I apologize.
I guess if I were to be on the positive side, I think they did a hell of a job with the ends, and not that bad with the kills. 2018 was
there were some copies that were terrible on
that was bad.
Yeah.
Put it in Scott's word, that was government cheese. But I think they're actually making an effort. And if I were to talk about their action figures,
yeah, they
really look phenomenal. I have a few.
I don't have any of them. I should get them. That's an excellent Christmas present for a kid I know.
I could pull one out, but it's a good deal they got going on. It seems like they're trying. I guess that's all I'd say.
I would definitely agree to that. Even I've been noticing that. If you just, the masks alone, put aside the Myers. Why is it the H4 out of all of them looks like, okay, that doesn't have to be involved at all.
Yeah.
But then, like you said, the action figures I know this is probably going to come to a shock to a lot of you. I'm not a Chucky person. Just never was. I don't know whether it's, I see the Chucky and I just want to drop it in the shit. But I would imagine if you're a fan, I'm not trying to insult it. I would assume that maybe you're happy with what they're producing on those Chucky dolls. Michael says he loves the Tots Freddy gloves. From just what I've seen at Boys, they do look pretty cool.
It's kind of like, there was like a story that I heard, like people may produce better beers in the world, craft beers, whatever you like to drink, whatever. But all of them respect what Budweiser does. You know, there's a certain level where a mass produced item has to be respected for how they just roll it out. It may not be the quality that everybody wants, but I mean, it's pretty impressive what they accomplish, I guess.
Yeah.
Disagree?
No, I Siri apparently agrees. I hope they have got that.
I mean, they turn out so many of them that, you know, it's for everybody.
Right. I would almost rather see them send out blanks, sell blanks.
Mm.
Personally, when it comes to the Myers, just sell the blank.
Universal won't allow that.
Yeah, I know. But just shoot it with white. Let it go.
Yeah. I'm reading everybody's chats here, and I'll tell you what, it's too bad. If any of you want to join this live stream video, just say something down below and I could send you the link. You're more welcome to join. Chris, Andrew, and myself. Even if you've done Zoom, and if you're like, let's say for an example, you're not crazy, you want to visually be seen, you can, I don't know how it's set up, so you could have it just the audio, but you know, or it just has your avatar. So
I think they can select, you know, if they don't want to show their video, just the audio.
yeah, because I've thought about that in the past, you know, like when we've discussed, I mean, there's some people that are just extremely uncomfortable being on video. So yeah, just say in the chat down there, just let me know if you want to join. You're more welcome to. So we got over the good question with Tots. Andrew, where do you want to go on your list right now?
I would probably say we're going for worst.
Yeah.
For me, it would probably have to be Rob Zombie's Halloween 2.
I'll let you know mine. Mine's the last as well. Go ahead.
Yeah, that one is my least favorite of the Halloween franchise movies. I did like his first one though, so I just was not following along through the psychedelic undertones, so it just wasn't for me. I don't know what you guys thought, but I didn't much care for it.
Well, like you, my last one was Rob Zombie's Halloween 2. It just, to me, it was yeah, the ripped one. It's just let's put it this way. They should have just put Opie Cunningham on it instead. Put the Opie Cunningham mask on the Rob Zombie instead of that ripped up condom.
That mask is,
I mean, come on, Michael. You figured out how to put a coat on when you're cold. You figured out how to survive by walking through what Haddonfield was all of a sudden as about as big as this country, I guess. All the years that you were missing. I don't even remember. Put some duct tape on that damn thing or something. Yeah, I was not a fan. I know there's people that like it and all that. You know, it's their own. That out of all of them, the ripped up condom.
It's just an opinion.
I can see that. It was a couple spots higher for me just because basically what Delator did with it, with the white satin. I like that mask, being that I just think it's well done. So I had to bump it up a couple spots, but I agree with you guys. I can see that.
Oh, I talked about a certain mask later on. Well, you know what? Since you were talking about where do you want to go now, Chris?
Oof.
I mean, if you guys want to continue this,
You got 19 and you're throwing me off, so I don't know where to go from here.
I could skip a few of them. In other words, I could take out the rest of the season of Witch, because the skull is actually higher up. Because ever since I was a kid, when I used to draw, skulls were always something that I would draw all the time. And I always just thought, I would love to see Michael Myers wearing that skull mask. And I got to admit, during this last trilogy, I was kind of hoping that when they were showing the teaser from Kills, when they were showing him holding the skull mask, I was getting really hyped up, hoping that he was going to put it on. Didn't happen, but I
Always
guess,
dream.
yeah. But I could stop. I won't do the season witch mask.
So if we're continuing going up is what we're doing,
Yeah, if you want to.
because we can't go down anymore.
Mhm.
Yeah, my 13 was the H3, which you've already spoke about. My 12, I just gave that away, was the H2. The Delator basically was the only reason bumping it up there for me. So for 11, I put Resurrection there. And the only reason I can really get with that one is Chris Morgan's. He's got a mask called the, let me make sure I pronounce this correctly, the motherfucker. He's got a mask. He called the motherfucker because of Busta Rhymes.
I think it's
The
Samuel
Busta Rhymes
Jackson.
speech. And that mask had to go higher than the other ones. So Resurrection for me, with special asterisk for the motherfucker.
That's funny.
I think of Samuel Jackson's wallet when you say that in Pulp Fiction.
Yeah.
That's like I always talk about in Tarantino or something. I mean, why don't I have a channel based on? Must have seen that. I mean, obviously, you guys can easily check out the chat room here. We actually got it seems like the chat's doing pretty well right here. So, guys, I am reading your chats here. You guys, oh God, yeah, we got here. Who's laughing at your bust a lot, you know? Yes, Heath, we're doing well tonight. I hope you guys are enjoying yourself. I apologize if I'm not getting to your chats. I'm trying to pay attention to you, pay attention to Chris, pay attention to Andrew.
I mean, if you ask Morgan,
Joe the G, I think I'm. Let's see, I have to go with the original OG Myers Mask 1 Part 2, and well, yeah, I think we all have a certain feeling for that, but I won't say anything yet. Don't want to ruin the surprise.
yeah, but if
I'm sorry. Was there anything else, Chris? I'm interrupting.
oh no, I was just gonna say, if you ever ask Morgan, he can recite that whole conversation. Remember where Busta Rhymes is talking to Michael?
Yeah, I put it on his podcast.
He can recite the entire thing. It's fucking hilarious.
It's been a long time since Morgan and I talked. God, you get the two of us talking, we won't shut up. Let's see. Oh, Andrew,
Yes,
where
sir.
are you at? You're at? This is your second to least to last, or yeah,
So it's
I'm
the
getting on
second from the last. Yes.
yeah.
Yeah, that would probably have to be, man, it's a close one. I would probably have to say, I mean, I don't want to follow Chris's lead on everything, my goodness, but I mean, I would flip flop between, honestly, probably Ends and Resurrection. That would be probably, I could flip flop either one of those.
Yeah.
So Ends to Resurrection, either one, flip flopping them. That's how I feel about those two. And I will say, I mean, people may disagree with me on this. I just remember watching Resurrection for the first time in the theater and just stunned by the first 15 minutes, you know. And I thought, holy crap, this movie's going to be good. And then, I don't know. That's just how I felt on that particular movie. Wasn't a huge fan.
And to be fair, there's a lot of films. Everybody that's watching, it's in the chat room, or even later on. I think we all can agree. There's a lot of movies out there that'll start off with a great idea. A lot of times it goes to shit.
Right.
So it's not just the horror film.
No, that's with anything. Seems like this day and age, right?
Yeah. Imagination is like, well, let's borrow someone else's idea.
Right.
Well, I guess mine now would be second Halloween 5. Yeah. Throughout all these years, I have been wanting to like this mask, but I just can't. I just can't. The only other time that I've been able to, well, to be fair, let me take this back. The only time I've been able to enjoy it is from an indie artist. And that's Martin G. Pena, which I haven't seen in a while, but I did a video for him promote his what was it, Revenge the Fifth, and his actually looks better than the one that the artist created for the film.
Yes.
And yeah, I could have to go through my archives of videos, but I remember having photos, talking to Martin. Even he said he wasn't a big fan. He was trying to challenge himself. I remember it. He was just trying to imagine how they sculpted that mask and all that.
Yep.
His actually, if I were to own an H5, I would want, Revenge of the Fifth. And
Yep.
just to say, hey, I've got all of them, but I could
Right.
go through the rest of my life never owning an H5 mask. To be honest with you, I just never was a fan of that. Don Shanks, I think I would have enjoyed his performance more if he wasn't wearing that,
Right.
you know.
And I have to correct myself, Scott, because I said ends. I like ends mask. I apologize.
Well, it's okay.
Yeah, I didn't mean to say that. I
That
like
movie's
Ends
messed
mask.
us up, Andrew. It's
Yeah.
messed us up.
Yeah, I like that particular mask. I just didn't care for the movie. So I just wanted to make sure that I was clear on that.
Michael the Collector 98, the alien Nick Cage mask, as I call the H5 mask. Let's see, I'll just put it controversial, but I do love the Alien Universal to have its own reboot that goes everything from the aliens and stars. Now we're going aliens. I haven't watched an alien movie, Alien and Aliens in ages. Those are the ones I cared for. Yes, I'm 43 years. Well, you're 43 years young, not old, too. Oh, to be 43 again. The good old days. Shut up, Scott. Speaking of 43, who's getting close to it? Chris, I think it's your turn.
Yeah, I'm saying,
Hey, before I get into asking, what do you think of Chris's background there, Andrew? And everybody
That
else
looks
that's
sharp.
watching?
It looks sharp. I was noticing that right when he clicked on it. Looks good, man. You did a great job. It looks sharp.
I woke
Yeah, I'm
the
not-
woke the wife up today, and I was like, "You got to help me.
Put it to work, huh?
I got to move some stuff around."
There you go.
I'm
Yeah, it
not
looks great.
jealous at all. Not at all. That's why I didn't ask.
Yeah, it looks, man, it looks fantastic.
Yeah, just look at his mask. You feel like you got to pick up your bottom jaw sometimes.
You got a bunch of you got some Nick Castles back there, don't you, over your left?
What's that?
Over your left shoulder, you got some Nick Castles back there, don't you?
Like, oh man, like you talking about Castle? Like
Nag mask. You got some nags
Oh,
back
yeah.
there. Yeah.
that whole shelf is nag right
Okay.
there.
Okay. Very cool, man. Very cool. I didn't mean Nick Castle, sorry. But nag is what I meant, yeah. And those are sharp. It looks great.
So wait, I skipped a few. That's my apologies. I'm sure you guys can pick your
Oh, yeah.
list wherever.
Yeah, pulling them out of line has been tough.
So I guess if I had to put it at 10, I'm going with Rob Zombie's H1. Specifically the Delator again. I mean, for obvious reasons, I'm a kind of a fan of it. I know I don't have any of them, but I just appreciate them, I guess. But I don't know. I feel good about that mask, I guess. Putting in that place. Can't really describe any more than that. I mean, the aging, I wasn't really a fan of, but if you were to look at the lighting of it and how it comes off on screen, I've always been a fan of it.
Yeah, I'll get into that one. Actually, Chris, there's some Thirst of War in the chat room. Is that a PlayStation? Looks like a blue Xbox UI.
What?
reading someone here in the chat, Thirst for War. I believe this question is for you. Is that a PlayStation? Looks like a blue Xbox.
Oh yeah, it's
UI.
Xbox. I can turn it off if you guys want.
It's not bothering me.
Okay.
I mean, keep this in mind. We're all obviously, if you're when you watch, we're all smaller screen, you know.
Yeah.
Well, I'll go ahead and chime in, Scott. For me, it would probably come across as the next one for me, as far as the mask, would probably be in agreement with you on Halloween 5. I know I'd mentioned it earlier with Chris, 4 or 5. I could have flip-flopped those, either one. You know, and then also the Curse of Michael Myers. That would probably be 5, and the Curse would probably be my 2 next from the bottom. Those weren't my ideal favorite mask. I always kept coming back to, you know, the OG, which is always tough, and we've jumped around that, but you know, always come back to that.
It's just a creature of habit, I think, for all of us.
Yep.
Lighting has so much to do with how we, yes, preserve this mask. You're right about that. Dude, I'm trying my best to get these guys included here. Michael the Collector 98, would you like to see the Tots do the Rob Zombies mask? Yes, yes. But for some reason, I don't know if they can do the rights. I don't really know, but that's a good one, Michael. Yeah, I wouldn't mind it. The way they're going, like we talked about earlier with Tots, how they seem to bring it on, you know, and I'm sure they're going to try to. But I thought that related to, like I said, I'm trying to do my best to include people here as well in the chat room. So yeah, it's a flip flop, like what we're talking about there, Andrew. And I see the flip flop these ones on the bottom more.
Yeah, me too.
Is there anything else before I go to mine, Andrew?
No, sir. Fire away.
Okay, my next one here at the bottom is Resurrection. It's better. This is from my perspective. It's better looking from the other two that I described. The one thing I think about throughout the years sporadically, I've heard people describe how this is the one where it seems like they made it look too pretty, like it's too clean, like it's too glamorized. I get that. You could see it. But at the same time, it's got that certain essence. Obviously, more of an H1 compared to H5. I think what's going to happen, my son has an H5 that's screaming for me to do something with it. The hair is just, it's like a sponge. And I think that after I slap some paint on that pig and put some new hair on it, I might like the Resurrection mask. But it's still down at the bottom. I compare that. It's too pretty, I guess.
Yeah, too clean.
Makes sense.
Now that would be the third from the bottom on me, Chris.
Well, that's number 9 for me right now. And it's gonna be H5. I know they messed up a lot of stuff and did certain things with that mask, but I don't know. I kind of have a soft spot for H5, and I do like the mask, although he didn't cover it up at all. That's a real problem. You got to cover up the bottom of the mask. But like looking at, I know you mentioned earlier Pena's work and stuff like that. That made me have a new appreciation for the mask, and it bumped it up higher for me. It's another one of those cases where an indie mask, like, it's not so much the movie mask that we got, but it's like the indie, what they did with it and kind of elevate it for me. But it's H5 for me, number 9.
Yeah. He Denson, he's talking about, I would say that the Resurrection mask, the scene with the fire, the way Michael, yes, when the fire surround him with that mask, I will agree with you that that's when the mask really looks cool as hell. It's the lighting, and the lighting from fire. Let's face it, we all
Treat motherfucker. Oh God.
We need to do where is Buster Rhymes? Where is he now video? Let's see. Hold on. Joe the G, could you all put the mask up so we could see some more or less what you're talking about? Bring it. This is a live video. I mean, I don't, in other words, I don't, if I had OBS doing this, I probably could. But in all honesty, I'd have to, it's kind of a, I don't do enough live streams for me to do all that stuff right now. And but I'm kind of hoping that when we were doing this list, I was imagining the majority of people that would be joining the chat know what these masks look like. So not to mention the thumbnails, I kind of, yeah, if I was doing with this, oh yeah, OBS, that's what I was thinking. I probably could have.
I wish I had something I could pull out, but I just
Yeah,
don't.
OBS, that's a lot of work for me, right? And I can't, my system on this computer for some reason, and OBS has a tendency of having history issues. The software operating system. Sometimes it's like we all know how technology is. It works great, you know, at times, like worked yesterday, and then there's other times it's I'd have to. In other words, I could use OBS on my MacBook Pro on a smaller screen, but this screen here that's like twice the size. I don't get it. I was changed back. That I'm sorry. I lost train of thought with you. Where are we at now? Just save me here.
Save me.
Save me.
Help me, Jesus.
I got a bite on my Twizzler. There we go.
Well, am I up?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I would probably at this point probably have to move into probably H2O for me. I kind of probably like the mask a little bit more than Chris did. I don't know why. For me, I mean, this is one of the movies that we could always debate and talk about. And for me, yes, they had 4 different masks, and yes, that was a terrible decision to do that. But in retrospect, when you look at how many famous actors were in this compared to some of the others, and you know, the story was different, and so it wasn't in Haddonfield. It was different. I kind of dug the story itself. I didn't like the mask changes, but however, I did like the main mask better than I did some of the others in the past. So that was just me. You've kind of known that from a long time, Scott. I've expressed that to you before. That the H2O mask for me, I kind of dig it. I kind of dig it.
There's nothing wrong with that.
No, there's not. I mean, but again, granted, I didn't like the CGI part where they screwed up the movie so much, and you know that was bothersome too. Because I mean, I felt like the movie could have been a lot better than it was, and it wasn't half bad. I mean, did I like all the mask changes? No, I didn't. But I did, however, like the mask, and I did like the fact that it had the cast that it did. And it was different. It changed it up a little bit. I mean, to me, I would choose H2O story over the ends any day, personally. But that's just me. You know, I might have to say, you know, if we're not ranking the stories, but you know, just to add that little tidbit in there why I'm ranking the mask where I'm ranking it, it's just because I would rank the movie better than ends personally.
No, I mean, I get it. Totally.
Yeah, it's the story.
For sure.
Yeah.
I'm right there with you. That was my next one. H2O. Father, if I'm saying it right, or thinking it right, the artist, Father Phantom, who is made the, yes. When you look at his, we appreciate it more, just like Martin Luther King.
That the
all the other ones, yeah, all the other masks they have are in CGI. The one scene that's a popular image where obviously Lori, I blame that on the Twizzler. Sees Michael for the first time through the round window, and then you've got that one god pathetic looking that Todd has. And I'll tell you what, I need to put some alcohol in this Dr. Pepper. Make it a flaming Dr. Pepper.
Might loosen you up a little bit.
Yeah. Got a damn bar out there. Don't worry, it's got some dust on it. But yeah, that mask there, I that's when I really got confused. The CGI was kind of like, was that where I fell asleep in the movie theater?
Yeah.
And then, but the one that's mainly, especially with Father Phantom, which by the way,
Yeah, it's amazing mask.
Oh, it's great.
Yeah. Yes. You got it. Well, I'm right there with you. Yeah, we can talk about definitely. I appreciate the script, the way it was written, so much more today than I did over 20 years ago.
Right.
Well, guess what, Chris? It's your turn to have something done. I'll look over these chats here.
Well, I feel like we just spoke about it, but I'd put 2018 there at my number 8 spot. And it's just, I don't know if it was the way they concentrated on the mask, like made it a part of his character and his just overall being. But the mask felt important again, I guess, not just a throwaway item. And not only that, but I actually like, if you see some rehauls, I mean, they're just, I enjoy them a lot. Like there's so much little cracks and little crevices to it. I mean, it's something that I kind of put a heavier weight on, I guess, when it's rehauled. I mean, if we were to judge it on tots, it would be a totally different category. But once it's rehauled, I feel like it's a solid entry.
And that's once again the 2018.
What's that?
But that's the 2018.
Yeah.
Joe, oh yeah, Joe, did you say what number is your 2018?
8.
Number 8. Why am I repeating it? He can hear you. What's with the cracks? Speaking of cracks, I guess Mike the Pillow guy has been really going on big time here with him.
Who is it?
Who's that?
Mike the Pillow guy.
You're gonna have to help me out, Scott. I don't know who.
Okay, Mike, the guy, the CEO, the guy who sells the pillows. He's also
Okay.
been going around endorsing the hell out of the Republican
Okay.
Party, and
Okay.
he has just been going off the charts. It's hysterical. It really is. I mean, he's living in la la land. He must be smoking that pipe again or something, because absolutely no one is believing it right now.
Wow.
It's comical as hell.
I'll have to check it out.
Yeah, hell, I should have brought in a pillow here just because I couldn't watch. It really has. There's been, like I said, it's just comical talk. Saturday Night Live's got to be good stuff. Well, Drew, it's your turn.
All right. I would probably have to say my next one, I've got it down here, would be, we're on 8. I would take it. 1, 2, 3.
I may have
I would-
skipped.
Yeah, I would probably say my number 8 pick would probably be the original Halloween for Rob Zombie's Halloween.
So
That
that's
would be-
kind of like, I don't know, I got 14. So that's kind of like in the middle for you in a sense right now.
Yeah, I mean, I probably missed it back there, to be honest with you, but that's probably where I'd put it. I'd probably put it maybe, I liked the sculpt better than I did 4, 5, and 6, back in the day. I did. When that first movie came out, I was like, holy hell, that mask is mean looking, Obviously it went on the actor's name, I slipped my mind, but yeah, it was just, he was a big beefy dude, man, and he was scary. You can only imagine yourself being put in situations like that, and that was a good one to see in the theater, I remember. So yeah, for me, the mask I would probably say is right about in the middle, probably, because I dug the first one, just didn't much care for the second, even though they are similar to the same sculpt.
Yeah,
one's torn up, one's not. But I like the better.
Okay. Sorry, I'm listening to you and I'm trying to catch up. So,
Oh, you're good.
Chris, you got it. You're able to see what's going on in the chat now.
Yes.
Okay, good. Oh, where was I? Oh, yeah. Sorry. Excuse me. Okay, here we go. This is gonna probably throw, or maybe a lot of people right now go like, really?
Wrench?
No, I've got Halloween Ends right now. The only
Really?
reason why is because the damn movie has gotten me so distracted with not doing anything. And enjoy it this
Really?
much.
See, I tried to devoid myself from
Yeah.
the movie aspect of it, just based upon what I like about the masks.
Yeah. I like the sculpt. I just didn't like the movie.
I'm well, just getting to the mask will most likely go up in time. The reason why I have it where I'm at right now, because well, there's others that has a history I appreciate it. This one is it'll make probably more sense when what's going to with the other. But right now I'm just frustrated, and I really hope that I could have some time to focus on it this week. I don't know. That's probably it's like since it's my list, I guess it's the first one. But for Todd's sake, dear Lord, I've given them a lot of credit on this mask. This is the best. This is the best one they've pulled, or from my experience, even though I got screwed.
Yeah.
From the rich one that was sent to me, but shit happens. But to give credit's due, holy crap. This is the best quality out of all of the other two, And just by weathering this thing alone, maybe you guys can tell from the webcam, this thing is a dream to weather down.
Yeah, I'm sure.
And when it's oversaturated like that right now, that means when I put on different layers of tones, it's going to be, yeah, but just thinking out about it as a whole, I've got it there right now. Maybe a month from now, it'll go up on the list. But I'm not doing this list to get it a month. I do apparently have a lot.
Very cool.
So yeah, that's where I'm at with that.
Awesome.
Okay, hold on real quick, Andrew. Slimy green treatment. I like you, Andrew. What is it? It has a black straw to match his black cup.
I guess they saw my cup I'm drinking out of.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
I'm being my list is kind of covering us right now. In other words, I'm seeing our little window on YouTube, but on Zoom, I'm barely seeing us.
So what was said about my cup?
Is I like you, Andrew, has a black straw to match his black cup.
Who was it that commented?
Slimy green Crete machine.
Yeah.
He was drinking from a black straw. If you go on, well, you know how it is. If you go on YouTube, you'll be able to see the chat.
Yeah.
And I do apologize, guys, for missing some of your comments here. Oh, they're all saying you guys are doing an amazing job. Your list is beyond measures. Wow.
I don't feel like that's right. I don't feel like
You notice I didn't read the chats. I just looked into the camera when I said
right. Dead giveaway.
It's a new teleprompter. As you can tell, I'm reading all the chats right now, and they agree. We are
I
awesome.
figured it was going to be
Turn page.
controversial. Everybody's got their favorites.
Yeah, everybody has an opinion. Not a problem.
I like your hat, by the way. I also hate people. Yeah, that must be. Why is it I get more? You know how it is. You can be on the phone with somebody, right? Or you could be okay. The two of you have daughters, you have events that you have, and then all of a sudden, that's when you get bombarded with messages, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm getting more messages from Instagram now. I did put a note on there that I was having a live stream video at 7:00. Oh well.
Okay.
So Chris, it's your turn. There we go. Oh, now he's got
Did my middle, right?
specifics.
Did my middle. So skip that. Skip my number 7.
Yeah.
6. I kind of grouped them in the same category because I don't consider it that much of a leap, but it's gonna have to go with kills / ends. in the 6th spot. I think it's, especially the ends mask. I mean, it's a great pull. We've seen what a lot of people can do from it, and like if you look at Nelson's like actual, I know we didn't see a lot of it, but that's a phenomenal mask. Like if we would have seen more of that mask,
Oh, it drives me nuts.
that mask is actually beautiful to me. Like, yeah, the molds on it, whatever. I mean, I just consider it more of an artist thing. Like he put a lot into that mask. He even went back to retool it and did another pull out of it to get what we got in ends. So it feels like more of an effort to me, and I just appreciate those masks a lot. What is that? Is that a kill?
Yeah, I'm trying to get that orange burnt look on it.
Yep.
This lighting looks terrible. But yeah, it
did it for me. I like that mask a lot.
Yeah, I do too.
It definitely tells, Michael's story. Every battle scar he had, everything he went through, like the mask just gradually progressed to the point where we got to ends. And if they would have shown more ends, I feel like that would have just been over the top. I would have been in love with it.
Yeah,
so I guess
sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, I guess I'm putting that into like a what if category, because seeing pictures of the mask, like it would have been just beautiful. That's kind of where I'm at.
When you do see like behind the scenes and like seeing the castles, it's amazing how little detail there really is on the burnt side. I mean, the reason why I have them both here is because I'm trying to do this one differently. And it's just so weird how this mask cascades with different lighting, even with horrible compressing video from live stream. That's the reason why our video is expensive. We don't have as expensive mirrorless cameras going on. It just amazes the hell out of me. Like I said, how they look so different at times just by painting it different. And that's what I'm trying to get at.
Or the lights.
I used to hate doing these. Now they're so much fun to do.
That mask has so much character to me.
Yeah.
I mean, I wish that I could. When I look at this one here in person, I'm really proud of it. But now when I look at the webcam, I'm like, why are you showing the world this shit?
But see, that's like another part to it to me. Like
Watching that pillow guy way too much. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
just seeing how the right atmosphere, the right lighting, the right everything hits that mask, I guess, plays into where I rank it. Because if they can play with it enough and make you feel like, holy shit, like that's kind of where I'm at with it.
Especially at the very end where he's looking out the window and they've got the flashing red and blue lights with basically a LUT called Prism, where it kind of echoes it with that mask. Oh, yeah. See, there's where I'm getting the details of lighting and color coding with that mask. Yeah. So I'm helping you out there with this.
That was 6, or that was 5. No, that was 6 for me. Yeah. I don't know what it is for you guys. So we're kind of seesawing here.
All over the place.
Yeah, no, this is fun so far. Let's see. The lighting made the back of the kills mask look like there was a larger bird poop stain on it. Yeah, that damn mask. But that's what the Meyer mask does to us. I mean, the lighting. And that one, hell, there's times it looks like it's green. It's the lighting.
Lighting.
What Pretty Woman mask is that?
I don't know what it is.
That's a Tots. Yeah, the Tots actually makes good Texas Chainsaw Massacre. So.
Yep. Well, for me, Scott, the next one for me would be, golly, I had it all picked out. It was, sorry, I got it written down here. Let's see, it would be probably just Halloween 2018 would probably be my next mask. And I'll reverberate. I mean, we can come back to it, but I would probably rate those backwards. You know, we're going worst to best. I would go Halloween, Kills, and then Ends for me as we get closer to the end. You know what I mean? That's how I saw those masks. I really enjoyed the masks per se, but again, didn't really enjoy the movies per se as far as the last couple. So for me, it would be the mask for Halloween 2018.
That mask there alone, going to the subject of how it's, during the day. I mean, and even like, obviously, we're going to get more professional photography and lighting, flashes, frame rates when they take pictures of it, and then they Photoshop it. Yes, they do Photoshop it for the posters. It just, these damn Meyer masks. It's amazing how they get our dick so hard and hard.
Changes our life.
Yep. Speaking things getting so hard, I guess it's my turn. I'm going with H6 right now. Like most fans, the H6 seems to be the evilest looking mask out of all of them before, I want to say, Kills. When I see Morgan's and Terry Lambert's using those two things, that's when I really appreciated the H6 mask from independent arts. In the film, yeah, but I don't know. Maybe is it George Wilbur?
Yeah, George P.
Sweetheart of a man, from what they always say, but it's just me. I'm not crazy about his body language, I guess you could say. But that's I feel rude for saying it because I appreciate what he did, So I really tried my best not to, but there's just the H6. I can see why. In other words, over the years, that mask has grown on me more, especially thanks to Morgan and Lambert. There's no doubt. I mean, I got one down there that's in the dam. Love that dam.
Yeah, you couldn't have said it any better. I would agree with that too. I mean, it's funny though, isn't it? How we view the movies differently than we view the masks, almost.
Yeah.
So
exactly.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be quiet on this.
Okay, Michael Reflector, say what you want about the H6, but I thought Michael was legit terrifying. Well, that's
There you go.
Everybody gets something, and I can. It's funny. It's like when I sit just like say, well, if you were sitting right next to me, I get your point. I could see why you feel that way, and I wouldn't disagree. But it's not like the same experience that I got out of it. But I love the passion that other fans have for either the film or the mask that they have. And, I never would. I mean, if somebody came up to me and said, "Man, I don't know why you guys dislike him so much. I loved it," and I'd be like, "Well, why did you like it?" I'm not gonna put you down for liking that film. If you liked it, then better you than me.
Yeah, tell me about it. Maybe you'll convince me to see something I didn't see.
Yeah, it wasn't for me.
Agreed.
So now that I've broken so many hearts out there, I get to go with Chris right now.
Mine was like number one. You just broke, but it's okay.
Hey, I said some positive. I said more positive things about that.
I'll just scoop it off the floor and I'll put it back in my chest. It's fine.
Cunningham mask sold by. Sorry.
I'm gonna fucking take that thing. That thing is great. I'm gonna wear it next Halloween. You watch me.
Just go over there and sneak in, Chris, and snag it.
So I'm at number 5. That's easily Flashback. I know it was so.
Oh shit! I forgot about that one. Wow.
Well, I wouldn't have forgot about that one.
It was so
Damn.
small of a part, but it made such an impact. I mean, we talk all the time about that alley scene. Like, dude, that was between H1 and H2. That was
I
beautiful.
forgot about it.
I
Very
mean,
good, Chris.
that's right there for me. I mean, that mask, perfect lighting, captured beautifully. Just, you can say what you want about the scene, but how it played out. But man, that mask is beautiful. Especially seeing like what Falco has done with it, or Nag, or something like that. They're great masks.
And what was really cool about it, I thought, if I could add, is just that, when you saw that particular mask in different scenes on the flashback, where Lonnie was on the ground and it looked more like an H2 as he was walking down the street, which was kind of cool. But it was the same mask. And then you see it where they've got him, captured, and it looks like an H1, and it just looks amazing. Right.
Dude, that's a tall order, right? I mean, how do you go to somebody and be like, all right, we got 2 beautiful, adored masks, H1 and an H2. Can you make us something in between that?
Right. And they did.
What would you do?
Right. And it just a testament to what Scott said earlier is lighting. It's lighting. And that's how they pulled that off, I think.
Oh, absolutely.
And I'm gonna think of the scene with the lighting where he's the actor playing the police officer. When he's like standing there looking out the window, and of course Michael comes to his right, and the way the light's hitting that mask, it's where it's like they're saying, "See, fans, this is what it looks like when you've got a dominant bright light on that mask."
Right.
And because that's when I was in the theater. I mean, I was literally in one of the chairs. If anybody's watching this video, of course, you guys as well, if you're fortunate enough to go watch a movie in the theater where the chairs are just they lounge back and you're just so comfortable. I went from that lounge position straight up when they went to the flashback scene. Yeah. I was like, holy shit, because it did look so much like a mixture of H1 and H2 right there. And I was just like wanting to pause that screen on the, at the movie theater. I wanted to sit there and look at it for a while.
Right.
So shame on me for not even thinking about the flashback mask. That's kudos, Chris, on that one. I mean, even Michael, the flashback mask is very well done. So
very.
Damn.
Yeah, Chris Nelson did an amazing job on that sculpt there for sure.
We need him to, I don't know, do more. He can't, but I'd like to see him do more Meyer. I would see him do more Meyer masks. All right, Andrew. Where are you at?
Well, for me, we're on what, number 4, right? So I would probably have to say, like I'd mentioned earlier, probably Halloween Kills, probably for me, would be my next one. I think it was 5. That would have been 5, would have been Kills for me. I again, not to beat a dead horse, but I thought they did Chris Nelson did a great job on sculpting these masks. Again, the movies were a little far out in some areas for me, but the mask sculpts were pretty decent. And that's why I choose Halloween Kills for my number 5.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. James B. Courtney, Christopher Nelson, those two. Thank God for those two. Well, there's others, of course. And give credit to Nick Castle for giving us the breathing moments that we needed in that film.
Yep.
Can't fault Nick is the man.
Yeah,
You
for
said
sure.
4, and you said kind of threw me off.
No, I'm sorry. I think it was 5. It was 5.
Well, my list is
Yeah,
obviously
you've got
different.
more than me. You've got more than I do.
Yeah,
I'm
but I
sorry.
missed a really great one, and that's a flashback.
Yeah, that was a great one.
So then when you said poor, it threw me off because now I'm at Halloween 4. Because this was the first mask out of, you gotta think back. 1988, folks, I was 18 years old. So I went through, and I hate talking like an old fart right now. I went from seeing the film from the first year, the original 8 years old, 10 years later, I'm 18. I'm excited. I heard this rumor that there's a Halloween 4 film coming out and Michael's back, just like that poster you were talking about earlier. The one as we call the cover now.
Right.
So I'm all hyped up. I'm getting ready to see a Halloween film where Michael's back. I go to what was the Dayton Mall, which still exists, where they had a movie theater down south of where I live. Chris, you obviously know that. And I go there, sit down, and as soon as I see Michael pop up, what the fuck is that?
Yeah.
I was like,
God damn it.
yeah, I was pissed.
You're kind of losing.
Is kind of remind me of when I was 18 years old. I was pissed off. And the funny thing of it is, there was a lot of people that after seeing Halloween for that, it was the story was pretty cool, but that ain't Michael Myers because of the mask. See all that stuff with the whole, William Shatner getting pissed off because they used, all that crap. This was all still kind of new to the surface. We didn't understand, especially as teenagers. Well, especially I as a teenager that didn't really give a shit about anything other than partying and having a good time. So obviously I'm not going to pay attention to the news that much unless it's presented in a comic book. So yeah, I was pretty pissed off. But now here it is many, many years later. And Chris, the way you were talking about, like indie artists, how it's aged and, with different perspectives of it and how it's basically a Dom post. When you really get it from a indie's perspective, we'll give Nag Mass credit where credit is due. It's like you can see that original, shape in it.
Yeah.
And when I see it from that perspective, I'm like, H4 is not so bad looking after all.
Yeah.
Not bad at all, especially when it's just aged and the paint looked like it's coming off in places. Yeah, it's amazing. One time H4 and H5 were the two I hated the most. And now you can see how far it's gone up on my list.
Yep. And now we've talked. Yeah, we talked about that earlier. I agree. They've come up on the list a little bit, and I'd forgot that was my middle pick was H4. And we discussed that a little while ago.
So yeah, I call it the hybrid mask, really.
True.
Okay, real quick, Michael, the Collector 90, would you include the rating of the Kid Michael's clown mask? It's funny, Michael, you mentioned that because I was thinking about the kid's clown mask. I did not include that in my list, especially like with the Rob's on. Now, I will admit, when he wears that like orange paper mache mask, when the Kane Hodder's wearing it, it looks cool as hell, but I didn't include this on the list. So I guess I'd have that as an honorable mention. And I'm at the pumpkin mask and the brute mask. I'll talk about something about that in the future, but I'm not going to say anything more about H3 just to kind of short my list down for these guys. Let's see.
I do like that you brought out the brute. I like the brute mask. I can't lie about that. I did not put it on the list, but I do like the brute.
Yeah. Well, it's your turn, Chris. So
what are we at? 4? Well, this is my ranking. The list, the numbers that I have. I don't know what you guys have, but you guys are probably have a couple more after me.
God, I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
See, I was thinking,
but I forgot the flashback one, so I lose major points there.
So I'm getting close to the top. It's obviously, it's cover for me. If you were to take cover mask and just place it in its own category, if you look at like like Nick Mopagano's, the 13, or if you look at that thing, it's like one of my favorites. That's a WMP. It's the AHE 88. But man, that mask. I mean, I know it wasn't an actual movie, but I just got to give it its own category. Because I mean, it was teased. We didn't get it, but it was teased, and it was just, I feel like it's been replicated so many times that it should have its own spot for me.
Yeah, I technically love my cover mask.
So I don't know if you can place it in an
It's
H4
your list. It's your list. As far as you're concerned, you are God when it comes to these masks, when it comes to your list. So no one can argue with it. Sorry.
It's number 4 to me.
It's a good one. There's no doubt about it. Hell, it was so good they put it on the poster for 4 and 5.
Right.
Well, for me, Scott, I'm going to go with my number 4 now, and I'm going to say since Chris picked a mask, not in a movie, I like that idea. I'm going to have to pick probably one of my favorites, which you probably know what it is. It's the 98 Proto, which you ended up giving one of those away, I do believe. And that's probably what my next mask is, the 98 Proto.
Ooh. You just dropped a bomb right there.
Mhm.
I feel like I should have some Lionel Richie sad music playing.
I mean, that's a oof.
I've got some excellent.
I'm not gonna say nothing, but I gotta no. Say nothing. Oof.
I've got some great memories of videos to do on that son of a bitch. Oh God. I feel like I have some Lionel Richie. Hello.
That's direct lineage right there. That's oof.
Well, I don't know if was that a bad thing to bring up? I don't know. I just
No, God, no.
Whatever you want. It's just that was just like, man, that was a Hiroshima right there.
We all have our heartaches of our first loves. I mean, in order to have the good, you gotta have the heartaches and stuff.
That's such a great mask.
It is, and you know what? I still don't own one, but it's on the list.
It's just overrated.
Oh, that's a good one.
Oh God.
All right, well, Scott, I'm gonna go ahead and let you continue. Go ahead, sir. You have
All right. Now I get to follow that with a 2018. To 2000, you guys have pretty much brought it up. So did I earlier. But to me, it looks different even on James Q. Courtney at times.
right.
Mainly because, as they all do. I mean, I'll go back to no, don't do that, Scott. You don't want to ruin it. I always have this thing with the friggin' hair on these masks. I'll just try to summarize it. And I try to tell myself, of course, the hair is not going to look exactly the same in every scene. It's called wind. It's
Right.
called them styling it. And for some reason in 2018, I see that hairstyle looking different, which reflects the way it's captured in the film. And as ridiculous as that sounds, for some reason, I noticed a lot with that mask. It's either really flat or it's got that H1 over the top type of style to it. And there's times the masks look just like the flashback. It's very simple. And there's other times it's very H2, very grungy and pissed off looking. And it has to do with the lighting. So it's kind of like I'm a broken record right now when it comes to talking about 2018.
Yep.
I like it also because it does reflect a lot towards
True.
not as great as it is as a indie artist has made the and I'll just go ahead and freaking say it, the Don't Post H40 that captured the H1 and 40 years later to a T. All right, I got off my chest since we were talking about indies.
Good stuff.
We got a Michael here on for the first time. Bruin, I guess. Bruin, well, hell, Scott, big fan of who? If no one else is going to jump on the Zoom with you guys, I would love to join. But
Hey,
more towards the end of your list, if that's okay, I've been wanting to talk to Chris. Well, I'm gonna leave that up to Chris if you're okay with that.
I'm more than okay with that.
Okay, all right,
love-
Michael. Since
Love the
I
community.
guess, Michael, I guess the best thing that I could do, if you send me your email address, I could send you the link that way. Is that about the easiest way, guys?
Yep, probably so.
Yeah. Not bad.
So in the description box of this video, it should be, yes, my email address. You go there, send me an email, and then I'll send you a link to this zoo. Michael Bruin Halloween movie related. You just, I'll try to keep my eyes open on my email from you.
Hey,
I'm
man.
sure
We can talk about the weather if you want. It's
we
fine.
can talk about it. Yeah.
You know,
So yeah, once
that
again,
mean-
just go to the description box. You'll see my email down there. Email or Instagram, but I just do email. That way I know for sure you're going to get the link. And it is your turn, Chris. All right.
I'm at number 3.
Okay.
And it's H6 for me all the way.
Ooh, that one.
Yeah.
Devotion. Devotion.
I love that mask. I do.
Well,
It's
kind of
so-
because it's number 3.
What's that?
I'm messing
Yeah, 'cause
with
it-
you. I say
Oh.
kind of because it's number 3.
I do. That mask is a special place in my heart. I mean, there's so many great masks. There's obviously the WMP, like the 666. There's the GPW. There's the Curse. There's the Damned. That mask just captured so many. It was like nothing. It thought I was looking at a butthole. But anyways, that mask just it's so vicious and it's unapologetic and it's just it holds a special place for me because I've talked about it before, but that was like the first Myers that I got to see in the theater. I got snuck into, like it left that impression on me. And man, H6 all the way. Like I love everything about all the lore behind it. I'm just a big H6 fan.
Well, if I have to add one thing that I like to hear too is and Scott, you can appreciate this from people that are younger, how it affects people generationally differently. You know what I mean? It made an impression on Chris. He got to see him, in the theater for H6. So, I remember getting to see the first one in the theater, so I'm kind of dating myself, but it's just kind of those experiences as a young kid that you get to see those types of things and experience, and how differently that experience is for you than it maybe be for Scott or I, you know what I mean? As far as the movie goes, not necessarily the mask, but that is cool how it, certain types of generations, were raised up on H4 and H5 and H6, and some were raised up on, H2O and on. So it's just kind of cool how it affects people differently.
Oh, 100%.
You took the words right out of my mouth, Andrew.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's you, Chris, with the, yes, yeah, Andrew, you took the word right out of my mouth. That's exactly how I love the fact that that was your first love. And I think every person, like I remember talking to someone, his first was H2O, and that's why H2O, and he has a Father Phantom mask, and that's just his pride and joy, his holy grail. That's because that was the first time he's seen Halloween on the big screen.
Right.
And I totally got it.
Just not
So
not the same seeing it at home, seeing it in big theaters, and it's just like, man, that was fucking phenomenal.
it's like, I'm going to use Star Wars as an analogy. 1977, when I went to go see that, the very first scene where that ship, and it's just like you really feel like you're watching something religious going on at the time. And I'm a 7-year-old kid, and that's how Halloween was the next year for me. You know, the film.
See your analogy there, the ship right there was like him taking that nurse's head and impaling it on the spike and then walking back and being like that. That was like, oh, that was crazy to me. That was my ship moment right there.
Let's see.
I'm gonna send this Michael it's like we're gonna have a fourth person. Wow, we don't know how to act.
About to get crazy.
I know. I hope I'm almost feeling a little like, do I know how to send an email at this point? What's this? This is something new with the iOS. Just why don't I just send the damn thing? Okay.
Got it?
All right. Yeah. So Michael, hopefully you will receive that email, that link. Let me know if you received it or not, of course, or just obviously you come here on the meeting and I'll know. All right. So where the hell am I? Oh, I already did that one. Did that one.
Bathroom break.
Okay. Chris to sleep.
Yeah, he just said he had to use a little boy's room.
Oh,
Yeah.
well.
I can continue on since he's not
Yeah,
around.
please do. Please do.
I guess my third pick would probably be the H-78 flashback. That was the one that I had picked for my number 3. Not to steal anything from Chris because it was his idea, but that's the mask that I kind of, it harkened back, as you and I have always talked, to the H1. And so that's why that really stuck out for me and why I like it so much. And it's my third pick. Getting connected?
Just responding. He's letting me know that he received it. So I'm just at least sending a text. Just,
Sure.
or at least a thumbs up. So I would imagine he'll be joining us here soon. And by the way, since Chris has had to go to the boys' room. Oh, no, there he is. I just want to let everybody know here in the chat room. I really do appreciate you guys being here. I do apologize if I've missed out on any chats. I know this, I think about other individuals that do YouTube constantly, and that you'll see the chats going like 1,000 miles an hour. I wonder if my constants will drive me nuts then. But
Need a moderator at that point.
yeah, I do. I really do appreciate everybody being here. Like I said, I do apologize if I didn't get to, in your comments. I want you to feel included with this as much as possible. So thank you once again. And one more other thing too, for everyone out there that has been watching, like say the latest videos, these tutorials, I do appreciate you guys at least being patient. Because I know at one point I felt like, okay, I need to get this one out. But then again, there wasn't any time where I said, okay, I'd have this one on this one. But everybody's been super cool and very nice about these tutorials. And they've taken a grain of salt the fact that I was telling you all out there, look, this is just my perspective. This is no professional way of doing it. This is just how I've taught myself and how I've learned from others. And I've been noticing it. Maybe it's the algorithm. And I don't want to say, oh, somebody's doing it because I did. No, that's bullshit. I think it's the algorithm in YouTube. I'm starting to see more people doing tutorials here on YouTube. And if you're thinking possibly the same thing, oh, you're doing it because Scott, no, you should be thankful that someone else is doing it too, because the more we share, the better we're all going to get at this. Because I could definitely learn from these other artists out there that do tutorials as well. So,
Well,
I
if
just
I could
wanted to
say,
get that out there real quick.
I think they're looking very well. That 2018 is looking phenomenal.
I would agree.
I still work on it, bits and pieces. I still do. In fact, it's sitting right back there. So I'll let it sit back there, because if I bring it with this camera, you'd be like, oh, I don't know if I like it now. But I do like it more now than I did last week because I added some more to it. And I'm trying to do something different. That's just it. I'm never satisfied. I'm absolutely never satisfied with what I do with these masks. And I'm always seeing something later on, like, okay, I want to try this. And that just, I like that problem. So
Right.
let's see. Michael said, just going to take the dog out. What was that line again that shit, what's her name says? Amber Heard, that her dog stepped on a bee? No.
My
Sorry,
dog
no,
stepped on a bee.
he's got to take care of some doggy business. Okay.
What was that face? That's all I want to know.
Yeah. So Drew, Chris, you had to take care of some business. Andrew, he basically reminded me once again that I forgot that flashback. And how much that was your number 3. Was that right, Andrew?
That was my number 3. Yep.
Number 3.
Yep.
Yeah, man. I can't believe I forgot about that mask. I gotta have one of those in my collection. That's how much I really like it. Well, I don't know what number I'm at. Like I said, I've got a list here.
You're
So I'm
gonna
gonna go with
keep going after we're done.
Yeah, you're the host. You get to finish it up.
I could stop, so
Oh
But
no,
anyways,
because you'll probably spur us on. We'll probably be like, oh shit, yeah.
now you kicked ass with flashback one
Yeah,
there.
you got it.
Rob Zombie's Halloween buried mask. Seeing Tyler Maine wearing that, and that has a lot to do with the oh gosh, that really does have a lot to do with the Del Toros, seeing his.
Oh man.
That helps out a lot. Because some of the photos that you see, some professional photographers with that Del Toros, that it just, oh my God, that mask comes alive even more. But to give credit's due, seeing Taylor May wearing it, like I talked about in that last live video, I have more appreciation for Rob Zombies because it's like, if I'm going to create a Michael Myers, let's make a beast. And there's just something about the combination of those two and that mask. I always liked it. I've never thought about really having one in my collection, even though sometimes I think about if I'm going to do it, I'm going to get a really good one. Or if Tots ever does make one and I want to rehaul it myself. But then again, I'd really have an indie, especially the clean version, because I really like that one. But that's where I'm at this point, the buried mask, especially mainly because it's Tyler Maine and that son of a bitch. It's I don't know. If I seen a guy 6'9" walking down the street looking just like that,
That's what I said. Yeah.
it'd make me shit myself, and hopefully I could run later on after I see it. So
Right.
If I could lend to it, I would say I just rewatched H2 the other night, and for the most part, it's dumpster fire. But there are so many cool moments in that movie.
zombies.
Yeah, H2
Okay.
zombie H2. Flipping the car, the hospital scene at the beginning, the lead up to the hospital scene, like there's just so many like cool little spots to it where I'm kind of getting more appreciation for it, I guess, as a movie.
Yeah, I'll probably watch it again myself here. Because I've been thinking about watching the first one again. I don't know. It'll happen. The funny thing of it is, well, I've got the set, of all the Halloween, the box set, but my Blu-ray player's shot, and I'd have to borrow my son's Blu-ray player, but my son does have the DVDs of it, so I could always, why not?
I got a spare one.
Honestly, I don't worry about it. I've got a DVD player out in the living room. One of these days I'll get one again. Or I could just go watch it in his room when he's not here. Let's see. By the way, that to speed things up, that was going to be my next one, the clean version of the Rob Zombie. So it was right after that one. Or was it? No, I screwed it up. That's okay. I'll just save it. I'll just change it, flip it around. So I'll save it for next time around.
Let me know.
You know what? Yeah, that would be you now. That would be you. You've shared your
Feel
first
like
love.
Yeah, I feel like it's very obvious, but I mean, 81, obviously H2, all the 81 masks. I mean, the CGP, the Warlock. You got, the Shape 81 by Nag. You got Ken Hurtline. You got Falco. You got actually the Mass Brothers Incorporated, which is like 3 guys, but they teamed up and they did a Kirk, they did a 78, and they did an 81. Which is Morgan, Ramby, and Matt Reed. They kind of made their own business together.
Okay.
But I mean, I'm kind of rambling on indie artists, but
Actually, no, because if you think about people that are watching now or watching later, they may be like, what is he? I'm curious. So please go on.
it's just such a phenomenal mask. I mean, you can't say enough about, Dick Warlock, what he did with that mask, his face shape. Like, it was like going from one person to the next. Like Nick Castle to Dick Warlock was like the pinnacle, I feel, for me. But yeah, 81's my number 2. I feel like that's kind of obvious, right?
100%. Yeah, that was my second pick as well. Of course, you said everything pretty eloquently. With all the indie masks that are out there and all the amazing work that's done, I mean, how can you not choose that as your second choice? And Dick Warlock, I mean, kudos to him. He picked up right where Nick Castle left off and did an amazing job. And you can't say that for everybody when they take over a character like that. So kudos to Mr. Warlock, and kudos to all the other indie artists. Shout out to Mr. Lambert for his Warlock, one of my favorites when it comes to the H2. And overall, he's just a great guy, Terry Lambert. So I can't say enough about the Warlock and the H2. That is my second choice as well.
The Warlock is iconic, man.
Yeah,
It's
it's
an entity,
right. So you know whose it is as soon as you see it.
Oh,
And it smells damn good.
Yeah, it does. Baby powder.
yeah, baby.
Hey, I don't need to say I don't think I need to say anything more to emphasize Terry, which by the way, he did watch our live video.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, you go read the comments. I pinned his comment there. So
Very nice.
So Terry, if you're watching, a lot of love
Yep.
coming this way.
Thank you, Terry.
We love we love your work. And yeah, I hope that you are I hope you're getting some rest, because the last time we spoke, Mr. Lambert, you sounded exhausted and it sounded like you weren't taking any time off soon. So.
That man has like 20 masks lined up.
Yeah.
He's just like, next batch going out.
Yep.
Like, God bless.
Every once in a while he'll share. I remember back on Facebook, he would share an occasion like, well, this is what I'm having for dinner. And that was like, damn, that looks good.
Right. All right. I remember those nights.
Let's see. I could speed. I don't need to talk. Chris, you took the words out of my mouth about pills. I shared that anyways. That was actually after the Rob Zombie Queen or before the Queen version. I'm sorry. I actually had, believe it or not, after the Rob Zombie and the kills, this was going to be my Halloween 3. I kind of already talked about it anyways, the skull mask. Because I really, in my mind, I really wanted to see Michael Myers wear that mask. That, and I used to draw skulls all the time with kids. So I'll quit there and leave. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 left out.
So wait, did you rank the 3, like the witch, the pumpkin, and the skull, all separate, or? Oh, okay.
Yep. Like I said, I kind of speeded things up a little bit there. I tried to. The pumpkin was actually close to the witch.
No, I feel like you should totally flesh out your rank, of course.
There's just I always think of just the Dom Post. I mean, the pumpkins, let's face it. The reason why I had that up a little bit higher is it's a logo. It's an avatar, big time for us. Yeah, it's the Myers mask, but it's the pumpkin avatar. And when you see that damn kid where his face is getting all twisted up on the, I
Yeah.
don't know, it just for me,
Very
that's the mask that looks proper on a shelf, but it looks silly being worn unless it's a little kid, I guess. But it's just cool. It's a pumpkin mask. I just always liked it. Something about the orange, I guess, too.
Gotcha.
It's not actually, like I said, my next four, no, it's not there.
So we're coming around full circle, right?
Well, you guys both had your number 2 and you're going to number 1.
I feel like, do you think maybe, I mean, because I kind of
Yeah, we feel like you should go down to number 1.
feel like I know where your number 1's going to be. Maybe you
you want to
should.
know what my next one would be at least?
Yeah.
Ben Tramer.
Ah,
Oh,
The
yeah.
Ben Tramer mask. I mean,
very cool. Yeah, good one. I missed it.
I never hear anyone say, or either I just missed it. We always say, oh man, if only I could have my hands on original 75, a Kirk that's not been converted.
Yeah.
I would have that thing preserved. We don't hear about how many Ben Tramers they've made. Maybe it was just one, and that's fine. I could get that. Would make sense. But if there was more, let's just say hypothetically, oh my God, I would not have that thing touched. I would just have it preserved for later. We actually had a Ben Tramer that was made for the 81.
Very cool.
Of course, we all know what it is. Oh yeah, I had to put Ben Tramer there.
Damn, I don't have that at all.
Didn't Terry do that?
I don't know, and we have a special guest that's waiting to come on board right now. Look at Nick. So we have a Leanne.
Very respectable, though. I
Want to hear my next one?
kind of missed the Ben Tramer. I'm gonna be honest.
Well, I missed the flashback.
Yeah, and I want to re-hollered Ben Tramer too, and I can't believe I missed it.
Oh, dude, very, very cool. Very cool.
There's my third one, which I thought for sure was going to throw you guys off.
Yeah, because
Halloween 5. The Brute Mask.
what is
That
it?
is the closest to the Brute Mask. I've loved that mask since the day one we had it. And oh my God, that would have been the closest thing we would have gotten with an Emmett Kelly because of the shadow and all that. Well, hello. We've got Lee Ann on the screen. I take it this is Michael.
Yeah, it's under my wife's name.
What's up, man?
How you doing? You guys keep going. I'll just listen. Go ahead. Keep going.
Well,
Okay.
Michael, we're actually now at the technically Chris and
All right.
Andrew. They did their number 2s, which I think a lot of us could pretty much agree, and I'll catch up with which is obviously 81 for me as well. Yes, that's right. The Warlocks, the H2, the mask that just says "I'm an evil son of a bitch." Even the hair
I've been
looks
following
like
on myself. I've been following on my cell phone when I was outside. So
Oh, okay. But yes, that 81 just does this amazing, as we all know, is something. It almost looks like it's possessed. It could we have the performance of the whole team, because we all give Dick Warlock credit, and dear Lord, I would love to give that man a handshake and just thank him for being Dick Warlock.
What a great guy.
And but I want to give credit for everybody that brought that magical, especially like even just the red lighting, the scene that was captured, where there's kind of like he turns into the red lights with the music score, of course.
Outside?
That right there to me was the shot that just like, holy shit, that mask.
Fucking
It looked like it was possessed.
phenomenal.
Hey, I'd like
Oh, Drew had to do something. He's thinking really hard.
long as she did. No, did you not hear me?
It just had a glitch.
Glitch out.
Yeah, you're good.
Now,
Okay.
Chris,
I
you
wanted to,
shared. Go ahead, Andrew.
No, I was just
get
gonna say,
Michael's thought on this.
no, I just wanted to say I wanted to thank Deborah Hill for stuffing the original mask underneath their mattress for a few years so we could get the H2 look.
Thank you for sharing that. That's definitely, yes. That woman does. Yes, we sadly lost her. Every Halloween fan always is like, oh God, yeah, Deborah Hill. Damn.
Yeah, if we're talking about John Carpenter ever, we need to throw Deborah Hill in there just as much.
I think if Deborah Hill were alive today, we'd have another excellent executive producer that would have had a little bit more thoughts of what was going on here recently. But of course, because but I'm stating the obvious. Well, Michael, thank you for joining us. We are so thrilled. I mean, I know that sounds like he's all that, yeah, right. But seriously, we're thrilled to have someone on here, and we're glad that you were like, hey, I'll join.
Yeah,
So, Michael,
I saw your last two videos and nobody joined, so I'm like, all right, let's hop on here.
Yeah, no,
so
that's
tell us a little bit about yourself.
I'm 54, I'm right around your age. I saw Halloween when I was 10 years old, and I've been hooked ever since.
anytime I talk like that, I mean, I envy.
And I wasn't hooked. I wasn't hooked because Michael Myers was a slasher or a killer. I mean, I was 10 years old, and just the suspense and the mystery and the slowness and the stalking, and that's what got me. I mean, it had nothing to do with the killing, and there was no blood, there was no gore. It was just, I mean, a 10-year-old kid just to get a movie for that, and I was hooked ever since.
Yeah.
And what they did in this last trilogy, I just,
Yeah.
Michael, you bring up something that made me think of something that I never shared, but the obvious, like in H1, where Lori leaves the Myers house and she's, singing her song, and we got the wide shot. She's going down the sidewalk, and here comes Michael. We're just getting that left shoulder shot. That is creepy, and that scared the hell out of me.
Wish we were all alone, just the two of us. Oh yeah.
Well, Chris, we'll talk about that later, but that's scene or the shoulder. So yes, there's just stuff like that I missed. So Michael, you bringing up the mystery and all that stuff just takes me back. Every time I hear someone talking about H1 like that, it takes me back to why I love that film.
I mean, if I'm being totally honest, dude, I envy, that experience. I always have. That experience, you guys got to experience that on the big screen. Like, God, what I would have given to be there for that moment. Because there was never really any trailers or anything spoiling anything that, told you what you were going into, right?
Speaking of which, Michael, did you remember hearing the audio commercials for it? Like if you're in your parents' car and you hear it on the radio?
no, nothing. My father sat me, my brother, and my two sisters down on a couch one night and said, "Why don't you watch a Halloween movie?"
Yeah.
That's how I saw the movie.
That's so great.
The scene with Tommy looking through the curtains, I decided to hop behind the couch and put a little scare in my siblings. And,
I'm sorry, Michael, we're losing your audio there.
halfway through the movie, when Tommy's looking through the curtains, I decided to hop behind my couch and give my siblings a little scare. And that's how much I enjoyed the movie. So if it wasn't for my father sitting me down on a couch at 10 years old, I would have never known about the Halloween movie.
Yeah, I got to give my mom credit for Star Wars. I mean, she went to go see that on a date. And then she's like, I got to go take my son to see this the next day. And that's what she did. So to give credit or credit due, when I think of Star Wars, my first time, if it wasn't for my mom, I mean, I was 7 years old. It's not like I had the money to just go to the movie theater to see it. So I was thinking my mom right away. So, and her allowing me, for my uncle to take me to go see Halloween.
Even not being in the theater, the music and the scores is another thing that made the movie,
Oh yeah.
And to take that
100%.
away, and to take that away again was just a tragedy.
Yeah, this past trilogy. I mean, yes, we had John Carpenter and his team, the music, the score. We had that. That was great. But it still didn't have that even one simple, scary, frightening note that dun. I mean, that's a terrible analogy, but yes, it's
You know what I think it is? Because I mean, him being a composer, a director, all this other stuff, I feel like the music kind of came first. And being as though we got David Gordon Green, like he directed the movie, and then John Carpenter got secondhand after it was already done. Like, what can you compose out of this as it goes? And I feel like it was wrote after that.
that, and obviously John Carpenter and Deborah Hill. That was their baby,
Right.
and they knew exactly what they wanted.
David Gordon Green never intended this to be a Michael Myers trilogy. He said it. He said it straight out in an interview. It was going to be.
Well, they could have ended it in 2018.
It was the first movie. It was her movie. The second one was the daughter's movie, and the third one was the granddaughter's movie. That's what he said straight out. He never intended it to be a Michael Myers movie.
I don't doubt that one bit.
You should have never had him in it, though. But we had fun with it. We weren't as happy with it. They got a lot of money from it.
It's brought new people in. Like,
Yeah. I mean,
it's helped.
at the end of the day, I get more positives out of it than the negatives. And I really hope that we can continue talking about it, learning about it. But I think for a lot of us, it's just, there's not the love there for it. And that's, but it hasn't hurt any of us yet. So that's a good thing.
I'm diehard. Still love
Well,
it.
since we are talking about the H1, I think we know where our number one mask's at this point.
There's no question.
Yeah.
Michael, I got to ask you,
No
what's
question.
your favorite Michael Myers mask? Oh, yeah, okay, makes sense. Good timing to come in.
First mask in 1986, when they first came out, was a Don Post mask, Don Post Studios mask. It didn't even say Michael Myers on the package. All it said was a mask. That's all it said. 1986.
Great. That's great. Would have been better if it would have said the shape, but
I mean, I have 17 masks. One mask for each movie, plus Halloween 3, all those 3 masks. I just bought them because of those movies. He said I'm a diehard H1 fan, but I just bought them all because of the movies. So I have
Now-
every single mask for every single movie.
if I could
From
say
here, it
something,
looks- I'm sorry, go ahead.
if I could say something, I know I mentioned earlier that it was the emphasis that they put on the masks that kind of ranked it high for me. But on the flip side of that, the character of Michael Myers, his interaction to the mask is what makes it what it is, I feel like. So I kind of hate that aspect because it was just supposed to be a emotionless face. It was just supposed to be nothing there, just a shape, right? And then it's what he did with it after that. It wasn't the mask that propelled him, how the end of ends became like just his mask laying on the mat, like on the coffee table. Hated that.
Yeah, and now I got to go back to where it's like, okay, Michael was strong enough to once again lift somebody up with one arm, stabby on the wall, does the head tilt. Okay, he's got his strength back. But then the next scene that we have with Michael and Opie Cunningham together, Opie Cunningham has the strength that kicks Michael's ass to
Yeah.
take the mask. And then Michael raises up, steals it from Nick Castle, by the way, and looks the head towards like, what you talking about? Well, it's like talking about the emphasis of the mask. And it makes me go back to where I'm all like, okay, this movie's pissing me off.
Yeah. Still
Sorry.
confused.
That's why I still can't work on this damn thing yet, because it pisses me off.
It's too damn. Like it places all this emphasis. Like Michael can't be Michael. He's supposed to just stand there for 40 years in the whatever. He's not Michael until he gets his fucking mask again. Come on, bro.
He was able to kick some ass in the gas station, you know.
I can't. Well, yeah, that's not what
They made the unbelievable unbelievable. That's what they did.
Oh, by the way, my number one
I'm griping. Sorry.
My number one was the mask that was stolen from Nicholas Hardware Store in Haddonfield, Illinois. That's my favorite one.
The NHK?
Yeah, I just thought I would add a little bit to see if you guys could figure it out from there. I didn't want to spoil it from anyone from there. So I'll just leave it at that. Other than the fact that Nick Castle is what made me so goddamn scared to where I had to sleep with my mom for a week.
Well, I finally got to meet after 44 years. I finally got to meet him this year.
Cool.
What a phenomenal human being, huh?
I got photo proof that I'm the exact same height as Nick Castle.
Good dude.
Yeah, that was I'm very thankful for that too. So
Did somebody have a question, Scott?
it's been pretty quiet in the chat room here. Let's see. Slimy Green, Crete Machine. He's noticed that I threw down the mask. Yeah, I did, but I'll pick it up again. It's okay. I'll just rehaul it later, eventually. I'm not a big fan of that, by the way, the rehaul. I like to call it, refreshing it or Bob Rossing it or
Reclaiming it.
polishing a turd. Well, this one's actually pretty good. So we're good. Yeah. I don't know. Rehaul is just not a big fan. Well, I give my ranking, my number one. I think, like I said, I think it's quite obvious. Like I said, we've got Michael here with us. And I want to make sure, was there something that you left in the chat room?
I wonder, Michael,
Chris, that was it.
what do you got going on back there? I see 4 masks, and what is that behind you?
This is Halloween Kills, man.
Kills?
It's the Halloween 2018 signed by James D. Courtney.
Okay.
This is the H1 mask signed by Nick Castle. This is the Halloween Kills mask signed by James D. Courtney. This is a book that David Gordon Green wrote, signed by Nick Castle. And this is just a H2 mask. All my other masks are down in the other room.
Isn't James Jude just awesome, dude?
I
didn't mean that.
Last year, I met him last year. He stood there for 20 minutes and just chatted with me. He was the coolest dude.
Chris.
Yeah.
Did you get a chance to, or are you preferring to wait to say that for later? Something that you received today.
No, it's up. It's up. Man.
Well, you know what? I know we talked about this privately, and I'm doing this because, as you can see behind Chris, he's got a hell of a collection going on there. Chris has his own YouTube channel. He did an unboxing video of his latest, and I'm plugging it right now. And you definitely got to go over and check out his. I mean, he's told me he's not on here to gain recognition as I got to be a YouTuber. He's doing it for fun. And just
I'm a very bad YouTuber. Don't follow me.
actually just subscribe. But if you want to check out what he has behind him there, more up close, then I would go over to his YouTube channel and check out even his latest that he's unboxed. And Chris, if anything,
I have no trouble with that.
there you go.
Nice. Well, tell us, Chris, what is it? It's a nag, I can tell.
No, that is a WMP. That's a Chris Morgan.
Wow, looks good.
He actually took that and he got the life cast and he sculpted this guy himself. This is the WMP 78.
Wow, good looking.
It's crazy mask.
Yeah. What made me
I'll check
think
it out
it was a
better later.
nag, yeah. What made me think it was a nag was just how good the hair looked.
Oh, Chris is,
Yeah, it looks amazing.
I mean, it's
It's amazing.
And if you want to look at it some more, obviously your YouTube channel is it's Sam Hain, right?
yeah.
For me, I'm just so used to being directly as you as the person, all that. And actually, well, probably because we're doing this, because I know like if you have a video that's uploaded and me being a subscriber, I'm supposed to be notified, but maybe because we're doing a live stream, I'm not getting notified, which that kind of aggravates me. You know, you do hear that a lot from a lot of YouTubers, like saying hit the notification bell. And for some reason, YouTube, it's like, they hit or miss by notifying people. Like, I can't say how many times I'll say, well, I didn't know that video was uploaded. I don't understand why YouTube's not doing their part. I mean, you click that notification bell and I don't get it. Maybe it's because YouTube is so damn big now and there's so many videos that are being uploaded at, you know, God, how many in a minute? I don't know. That could be why. It's just the algorithm is, their algorithms are overworked at times. I don't know. It's hard to say. I'm trying to think of an interesting question. Okay, we were all, and Michael, since you're here now, we've talked enough praising Christopher Nelson. If there was one mask out of the franchise, not including the last three, but if there was one, and not the flashback either, which just might be difficult. If there was one mask,
That was a cool mask. The flashback.
do
mask.
what's that?
That was a cool mask. The flashback. mask.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, if there's the one mask that you wish Christopher Nelson would redo, which one would that be?
Mine. You hear me?
It's hard to hear you.
What's that?
It's hard to hear you, sir.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, you just got to speak up a little bit.
Said mine. So can you hear me?
Scott,
One more time. Sorry.
Said mine.
Mine.
You want him to rehaul your redo yours? Well, that's yeah, there's no doubt that's a good
Very
start.
true.
Yeah, that
Very
yeah,
true.
give me
I had Nick Castle sign the inside of this one so it could be redone. That's what I have.
I would actually like to see, and I'm gonna say it now, and I mean I'd like to see Christopher Nelson actually do a Kirk.
that'd be
You know,
cool.
not a converted one, you know, a Kirk. I'd like to see him do one. I don't know, it just popped in my head.
Straight Kirk. No H1, no eye cuts, no nothing.
No, yeah, just a Kirk. I mean, because I think, okay, I could see him do an H1 easily. There's no doubt. I'd like to see him do a Kirk. Because I'm like, no, not Rob Zombie, because I'm just trying to think of something a little out of the box.
Sure.
Yeah.
That'd be cool.
I'm gonna go. Guess I'm gonna lean hard into my category that I've already explained. H6. I'd like to see his taken on H6.
I think it would be, God, I want to say, and this is no disrespect for others, I want to say it would blow people's minds away
I don't
if he
know.
did at age 6.
I don't have any preconceived notions at all. I just want to see it.
Hell, he's a sculptor. He may already have it.
There's that too.
But I've gotten an impression from just watching Christopher Nelson, which, Michael, I'm sure you've watched him and Sean Clark on their podcast that they do.
I do.
Christopher Nelson has a vibe that I can respect so highly. He likes to do things his way. Because he's an
He doesn't
artist.
take requests.
He just, no, I'm going to do it my way, and I respect that highly. Why? Look, the wheel's already been invented. Why go there? Let me do something different.
I mean,
And I respect that.
he's like a Academy Award winning special effects artist. I mean, yeah, I can't fault that one bit.
Yeah, Marvel, Quentin Tarantino. Yeah, the list goes on and on and on. And he just, for some reason, I think it's because of the Halloween franchise, where you've got a chance in general, people getting to meet him. He really just seems like just a regular next door neighbor dude,
Finished working on The Exorcist, I think. He just finished working on
Your audio is bad, but I could swear you were saying something about him working on The Exorcist.
Just finished working on The Exorcist.
He's either just finished or they're still in Atlanta working on it, one of the two. I'm not sure. That if I'm gonna watch this, I want it to be, please don't let it be a reboot. If it's not a reboot, then maybe I'll be intrigued. If it's well written, if it's got some good drama to it, if it's not necessarily, I know, this is going to sound weird, if it's not necessarily a horror film.
Key, well written.
Yes. And I want to hear other people tell me first, and then I might be like, okay, I'll go see it in the theater. But if it's a damn reboot,
Wow.
I'm just not excited about reboots anymore.
Yeah. Or redos.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Last Jedi. Jab.
I mean, at a certain point, it becomes just beating a dead horse. I mean,
Mhm.
And I guess this is where I should give ends credit.
Ended.
no, because I know what you're going to say. It went to unfamiliar territory or something. I can't do it.
Opie Cunningham liked Yoo-Hoos.
Yeah. Don't give me.
What was with that pinky ring?
Oh, I know. I can't believe I want to ask you guys. Have you seen the trailer for John Wick 4 yet?
Yes.
Well, like 15 times.
Yes.
I've only seen it once, but I see where this is going.
We retain the same information, I promise.
I love John Wick films. What are your guys' thoughts on John in general?
I have a feeling it's over after this one. What do you think? I think he's gonna die.
Kidding. No kidding.
Yeah. I have a feeling he's gonna die, but he's gonna sacrifice himself for the better good. Yeah.
Michael, your thoughts?
I think so. He's another good dude.
Yeah. Keanu's a great guy.
Something tells me this is going to be it as well, even though I've only seen the trailer once. If it's going to be it, can they please bring back that gorgeous Mustang? Please. That's all I ask.
Yeah.
All I
Is that
want is-
69 fastback?
Yes, sir. I've got it out. It's in my
Yeah,
bedroom.
buddy.
Well, not the real. I don't have the car parked in my bedroom, but I've got a. I love that car and the fact that they had. I mean, okay, his wife was killed. I get it. Boo-hoo, get over it. Then the dog, but the Mustang. You had to destroy that beautiful Mustang.
See,
Dear Lord.
here's the thing about me. Pretty much dogs, cars, and Halloween, maybe a little bit of video gaming. But like those are my three untouchables. Like those are my like most loved things. You can't touch those.
Forget about the wife and kids, right?
Yeah, that's fine. I'm not worried about that.
And food.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. That was my thought.
I like food too.
Way to make me look bad, Andrew.
My bad. My bad.
Hey, Michael, what part of the world do you live in?
Yeah, Massachusetts.
Oh, okay. So are you getting some weather right now? You know,
Overnight.
we got a little bit today. It was weird. Here in Ohio, winters could be like, well, hold on, you know. But I looked out the window. There was actually snow on the ground, which is
Yeah, I
You
heard a
never
lot of
know.
places got snow. Yeah.
yeah, in Oklahoma too. Andrew lives in Oklahoma. So wow. And naturally, with you being up there in the East Coast, when we get hit with something, you get hit hard. I mean, shit, you're probably saying, well, thanks, Scott, for reminding me, but you know it's true.
Well, luckily, we're staying warm over here. So I mean, we're 70 today.
Yeah. Well, guys, we've been on here now for where I see that we've been on here for 2 hours and 16 minutes. That's 2 hours of full. Well, it's 2 hours, and I pretty much that's all I've got. And I know Michael, you just got on here, but I don't want to, you know, unless you guys enjoy me putting you to sleep.
I sent you another email, Scott. Tell me if that's workable or no.
Let's see. I've got hold on, it said updated 8:30. Okay. As far as I know, if I end, it shouldn't be an issue. Just to answer your question there. I mean, once I end it, because I think Zoom continues. Yeah. Do you guys have anything else that you would like to share to all these? Let's see, we've got
8.
Well, I don't know how many people are viewing right now. They probably were wise enough. No, well, they got tired of my wise crack out, comments. But they're probably, I don't know, doing what I would probably should be doing right now is eating and shutting up. So I don't know. You guys have anything to share?
Well, Scott, thanks again for inviting us. I enjoyed it. I enjoy having our conversations like we do. It's kind of a nice thing to do and talk about of something that we enjoy talking about, which is masks. So, and Halloween fandom. So I appreciate you sticking with it and, and allowing us to get on here and talk about it. It's a lot of fun. I like doing it, and hopefully others that watch like it as well.
Yeah, this was a lot of fun. It really was. I feel bad as hell right now because I really should give a shout out to an individual on Instagram who suggested this idea of, thoughts on doing a ranking of the masks. And right now, hopefully I could find him real quick. Oh, dear Lord. Or was it actually, Chris, do you have anything? Maybe I could find it as you're sharing some thoughts here.
Man, I appreciate the opportunity, and I'm a student in here. I want to learn everything I can, and about something that I love. I just love the community. I love talking to everybody. I mean, it's always cool people, and I appreciate the experience. I'm not looking for anything out of it. I just like to meet cool people. So I appreciate all of y'all.
For sure.
Yeah, there's no doubt. That's the thing that I enjoy the most is when you get to meet new people, on here. You just, I mean, for an example, I would have never have met Andrew if it wasn't for doing stuff like this. Chris, Michael, and there's been people in the past, and you build new friendships and all that from it, and that's the great thing about it. I mean, dear Lord, I do this for fun. It helps me stay motivated. I know that I do this stuff in waves. I wish I could do more, but I say that a lot when I'm sitting on the toilet too, wishing I could do more. So
Right there with you.
I just got to stick with it. But I do apologize for not thinking of the person that suggested this. You know who you are if you're watching this video right now. So I do thank you for your suggestion on this because, yeah, we had a lot of fun doing it. And Michael, thank you for joining us here. I know it was at the last minute. It's obviously you're, like you said, your number one's H1 and everything. And, you've shared at least your thoughts there towards the last few. And one other thing that I was going to say earlier, I know we pretty much all have our number one is Halloween, Myers. I heard recently that Peacock, the streaming service, is apparently going to have a series, a trilogy of Friday the 13th. Did you guys hear about that?
I didn't. That would be cool.
I enjoy
And
it.
we'll have different versions of Jason Voorhees.
I enjoy
And
it.
they have total rights to it. You know how they're saying that I guess there's been legal issues? If I remember I believe it was Paramount, or I'm sorry, Peacock. Ooh, I hope I'm saying this right. They have complete rights to do exactly what they want because it's going to be called something like Camp Crystal Lake.
Really?
Yes.
That'd be cool.
And when they say different concepts, a prequel of, eventually different things of Jason, I'm thinking automatically, are we going to get Sackhead Jason? Because that's the one I enjoyed the most.
That was what that was Friday the 13th 3, was it not 2? Okay.
Yeah, Friday the 13th, part 3, season of the bitch. No, that was, I think that's what we got.
Season of the mom. Season of the mom.
Yeah, no. But you know what I heard about that? I was kind of like, you know what? If it's written, oh God, I'm throwing some more crap in there that I don't have legitimate facts. But I've heard something about the same people that were involved in creating the TV series that had something to do with the Silence of the Lambs. There was a TV series that they had out years ago based on the character from Silence of the Lambs.
Great movie though.
Sure.
Apparently, there's people that love this series, or whatever. Like I said, I'm not talking out of my ass completely, but I'm not giving all the proper information. But it kind of got me like, that sounds intriguing. Hopefully, it could be interesting. So we'll see. Hopefully.
Right.
Damn.
And I learned about Terrifier 2 more today from you guys. That's another great thing about this stuff. I mean, even though I was on the fence, what I'm hearing, it's kind of like silliness, or you're like,
It's so over the top, man. It's just kind of a fun ride. I look forward to number 2.
And of course, the actor that plays the clown is, I've seen him in enough interviews. He's a nice guy.
Isn't that funny? That's usually how it goes, right?
And Chris, what did you say it was on? What streaming service again?
Screenbox. They have a 7-day trial you can do before you have to, but it's on Amazon Prime.
Oh, okay. So you can go right to Amazon Prime and watch it, or
yeah,
no,
you have to sign up for the 7-day trial, but
Got
you can cancel it right after that.
Yeah.
I'm surprised I had to sign with Amazon Prime as much as I'm a big Kids in the Hall fan.
I love Amazon Prime. I can't lie.
Because I've got so many, I never bother them. And I actually am a huge comedy fan. I'm probably more into comedy than horror, believe it or not. And I'm Kids in the Hall, which is something that was out, some Canadian comedians, and Anyways, I don't need to talk about it here.
No, it's classic. No, it's classic. I
love the kids in the hall.
you like In Bruges?
And Bruges. Give me more of a
Colin Farrell.
Love
Yeah.
Colin Farrell.
Forget the guy's name. In Bruges.
it's like I'm getting it mixed up with something out in my head right now. I think it's like I think I know what you're talking about. I'm not sure. In other words, kids in the hall, they've got like the latest. This was back in the day.
Holy smoke.
I haven't seen that.
What?
No, I haven't. I haven't seen it.
So good.
What's it about?
Please, Lord, please watch it.
Okay, well, just hand it to me.
But they are essentially making a kind of a spiritual sequel to it. It's called something Inverness. Damn it, I'll send it to you, but dude, please watch it sometime. Let me know what you think.
With Mad Eye Moody, right? What's his name? The guy who played Mad Eye Moody.
Who?
The sequel, the sequel that come out with. What's his name?
It's called the like Scandals of Inverness, I believe.
I'm trying to think of the guy who was in it with him. He played Mad Eye Moody from the Harry Potter movies.
Brendan Gleeson. I don't know. I'll send it to you though, but please watch it sometime. It's so good.
All
Where
right.
did that come out, Chris?
Here's what I found.
Well, guys, I'm gonna go ahead and end this stream because I think right now, like I said, we've been on here for like 2 hours and and I think we could talk some more, but I'm gonna go ahead and end the stream. So if anybody is actually gonna watch this video at this point, thank you so much. I highly appreciate it. I'd like to thank, obviously Chris, Andrew, and Michael for joining me here, because if it wasn't for you guys and everyone in the chat room, I would have been sitting here talking to this corner of the camera in the wall, talking about masks. I could have talked to him here in the room anyway, but
It's a blast. I appreciate it every time you ask me.
Yeah.
oh, and then I've got a DIY project coming up soon.
Nice.
Another one. I'll give you a hint. I'm being serious. It involves these things right here. And you can't tell what they are. I can see why. Because it is hard to tell with that lighting. They're plastic plates.
Ah,
Is it a 3D printer?
Nope. I'll give you another hint. There's 4 of these rods.
wooden dowels.
And I've got 4 of these too.
You're making stands.
Oh,
Remarkable.
Yes.
Andrew caught on. Yes.
Yes.
This is going to be such a simple DIY thing that it's like, why am I going to get out a camera and show this? But you'd be
because
surprised.
there's a market for it. There's somebody that wants to know.
It's really easy to do. And if somebody is like, ooh, cool, I might try that. And the thing of it is, by the way, as you can tell, I bought it. It's all 3 of these at Hobby Lobby, right?
Nice.
These right here were $3.99, 4 of them.
By the way, this video is not sponsored by Hobby Lobby.
Yeah, it's not. And they're closed tomorrow, so they're not going to pay attention. These right here, these little things right here were $2.50. And then there's the reason why I got this, and I'll go ahead and explain it now because really it's probably only the 4 of us that are going to watch this video at this point.
Top.
I was trying to think of something to put on top. In other words, what they had there at Hobby Lobby. I didn't want to use styrofoam because what's my number 1 rule? No styrofoam.
Right.
So
Takes
I'm
the
trying to
shred of
find bowls. I couldn't find bowls there to save the life of me. So I'm like, wait a minute. And now that I think, Opie, where are you? Where'd you go, Opie?
That poor mask. God bless it.
Where did Opie go? There he
You
is.
just you throw that mask to the wolves. You sacrifice that mask.
And Opie is still around. So Opie's going to do a little taste test. This is gonna
Oh.
work. If it's gonna fit an Opie. Seriously, just. Well, Opie's kind of deformed anyways, but I think you get the idea.
Sure.
Taking one of these, oh, this was $4.99 and there's tons of these. I can still use this to mix paint with.
Yeah.
Kill two birds with one. I don't know. Just trying to come up with easy ways to make it stand. Obviously, I'm gonna paint them too. I just thought, you know, I'll give this a shot.
Not bad at all. Not bad at all. That's pretty
So-
good.
So for all of you exciting kids out there that want to watch me put a stand together, stick around. Well, not in this video, but sometime in the near future as I attempt to work on Opie and that other ends mask. Are the only ends mask that I got. Someday, will I show a DIY on that? Hell no. So thanks for watching. And I'm going to end this damn video now, and I hope to see you all soon. And maybe someday the four of us will get together and do another live stream where we talk about why you should or cook chicken at its full, I don't know, temperature, right?
Salmonella.
Yeah, that's it.
You got it.
All right. Everybody stay fresh, stay clean, and remember, wipe your butts because it's getting sticky around here. Bye-bye.
Oh, shit.
I think we just ended